Stay with me here. I asked a seemingly innocent question about officials forfeiting a high school football game in Ohio after a player headbutted one of the crew. I was curious about the exact nature of how a game gets ended before its normal time. Briskly, the conversation turned to forfeits and suspensions in quotes, and our role in each of those. The more I pried, the more I wanted to know. Many rule books and officiating manuals seem sort of sketchy on the topic of how we can, should, or must end a game. If officials are to determine a contest over, they have two basic options: forfeit or suspension. I did learn in my micro research project that these two options come with many names: temporary halt, termination, abandonment, no contest, interrupted game, and default, to name just a few. I must say that abandoning a game sounds a bit harsh, don't you think? Yes, it's the same as forfeiting, but it sounds like a felonious offense. At the core, to forfeit means to give up something. In the cases we deal with as officials, the forfeit means that a team has given up something, that something being the opportunity to compete or to get a win. As a general matter, a game can be forfeited when a team does not have enough players, or when a team repeatedly commits unfair acts, or when a team or player does not follow the referee's instruction to commence play. A game can be forfeited when the safety of the participants and fans has become an issue. Think Disco Demolition Night at the White Sox game in July of 1979. If a team purposely plays in such a way as to delay or shorten a game, that can result in a forfeit. There are other reasons that can lead to a forfeit, but forfeits are pretty rare. Suspensions, on the other hand, are more numerous. A suspension is a temporary stoppage of play. You may be surprised to learn that in baseball, the umpires enact such suspensions frequently during a game. A timeout is a suspension, for example. The expectation of a suspension is that the play will be resumed at some future time, or at least such resumption will be an option. The use of suspensions that are not timeouts or short halts of play is the topic that has grabbed my interest. For me, the Ohio incident mentioned was the touchstone. In that case, the officiating crew chose to declare the game a forfeit. They were fully correct in what they did. They had that option, and based on all the factors known to them, forfeit was an option and they chose it. That game was terminated and a winner declared by the crew on field and on duty at that time. What I was wondering is this: in this day and age of an almost clinical reviewing of decisions in officiating, would we, the officials, be better served in a situation like that in Ohio to suspend the game and announce that the game has been suspended and that it will be referred to the appropriate governing authority? That agency can then ingest the official's game report and supplement that with knowledge with such things as video evidence, oral reports from the officials, reports from coaches, athletic administrators, and others deemed credible. The collection of video evidence and testimonies then is evaluated, and the governing body issues its statement. The suspended game will be recorded as a forfeit or a termination, and the penalties for such are spelled out per the provisions of the rulebook. It seems to me that carrying out enforcement in this manner takes the matter from what some could believe to be a knee-jerk reaction by the referees to a more thoughtful and deliberate rendering. Our voice is still heard. Now the voice of the owners of the game will come front and center. In this age of replaying and transparency, gathering extra evidence in support of such a far-reaching decision just makes good sense. Now, don't construe this approach as having any lack of confidence in our ability to make good decisions. As they say in the world of nuclear disarmament, trust but verify. Thank you.